Maybe Dr. Wallace and I invited some guests to come up, even though they didn't know who was actually going to show up tonight. But a couple of weeks ago at the Policy Committee, we had a presentation from community members, led by Mr. Chris Ferguson and Mr. Otis Davis. But let me have these two gentlemen introduce themselves.
Yes, I'm Jerry Sutton.
Otis Davis, a graduate of Sexton High School.
And as you can see in the packet, way back last spring, we had our first conversation about the naming of the Sexton floor in honor of Coach Clayton Colwalk, who actually was the coach of the two state championship basketball teams at Sexton. And a group of outstanding community members came forward to make the proposal. We have met at least 3 times since then to discuss the proposal. I asked for some very specific pieces of information to come forward, which have all been brought. You have in your packet examples of those things, including letters. You also have an example in your packet of the proposed design of the recognition. Originally, there was going to be an actual imprint put onto the floor of Sexton High School gym floor honoring Coach Colwalk. And of course, I just want to pause for a moment. What I heard last 2 weeks ago that was most impressive about the presentation that came in front of policy was, he said, I should have let Mr. Davis do it himself, but it said that, yes, he was a great coach, but we knew him as Mr. Colwalk, because before we looked at him as a great coach, he was a great teacher to us. That's one of the other reasons why I felt that we should honor, because he was a long time inspiration to them as a teacher as well as a coach. Long story short, you have an example of that in the packet, and official presentation was made to the Policy Committee, and I am in total support of this and hoping that if you have questions, these gentlemen can answer them as well as representatives of the committee. But we believe that this will be a great honor for Mr. Colwalk and his family. And what will happen, of course, is this will be a banner put up on the wall of the court as opposed to imprinting into the court. Because when they did an investigation into that, we found out that there's possibility of moisture or whatever causing that to peel. So they wanted to do something that would not do damage to the floor or create any possibility of that peeling. Last but not least, this, of course, is going to be done at no cost to the district. The gentlemen who have been a part of this committee have raised all the funds necessary to make this possible.
Are there any questions? Mr. Gates.
Well, I don't have a question. I just want to make sure we show our appreciation for the committee and outstanding alumni of Sexton High School. I can't tell you what a thrill it is to me to see you gentlemen here and the committee you represent. It brings back all the memories of wonderful experiences we all had. And Mr. Clayton Colwalk was an instrumental figure in all of high school athletics, and it's a pleasure to honor him. And I was on many teams that were defeated by so I know he must have been an outstanding coach to you, and I just want to make sure we recognize and appreciate the effort, and nice to have you here. Please show up more often. Thank you.
Mr. Ford.
Thank you. Since Mr. Davis has given me an opportunity to make a statement or a question, I thought I'd better say something. Being a Sexton graduate and alumni, I knew about Clay Colwalk before I did intersect him. He had just so many great teams, and I just wanted to play for him at that time. But he had moved on since before I got there. But those 2 state championship teams, the 59 and the 60 teams, I had the opportunity to be coached by 2 of the players. Doug Herner and Art Frank, one in college and one in high school, that played for Clay Co-op. And they admired him very much and spoke very highly of him. And I could tell by the fact that they were great coaches and also great players that he was very instrumental in their lives. They went on to be coaches themselves. So I really appreciate Mr. Sutton, Mr. Davis, and your group for taking on this responsibility. I just think it's something that's long overdue. Thank you very much.
I'd just like to let the board know that Mr. Co-op's daughter is in the audience tonight, Karen Odell. And Karen, during both 59 and 60 seasons, was a cheerleader. I don't remember her exact age then, but she was in the cheerleading spot. But she's here this evening.
Would you like to make any comments?
Everything they've said has been true, honest. He was a wonderful man.
Are there any other comments or questions? Mrs. Ford? Just to share, and the committee members already know this, but to share with the rest of the board, the policy committee, in accordance with our policy on naming of facilities or parts of facilities, indicated to them that they would make the presentation tonight at the public meeting, and we offered to have them, we can't vote tonight, we have to vote at a subsequent meeting. We offered to do that at a televised meeting in November, but they want to move ahead with it more quickly than that, so they are going to come back to our meeting, first meeting in November, at which time we will vote, and then, I hope we'll all be invited to the actual ceremony when they name the floor. But I wanted to let you know that was the process we're going to follow. Thank you. And Mr. Co-op was a wonderful man. As a Sexton graduate also, he was there when I was there, and he was a terrific teacher and a terrific coach. Anyone else? I met Mr. Co-op because there was a board put together in the community in the late 70s. And it had people from the city of Lansing, and it was around recreational programs for students both in the summer and during the school year. And I, at the time, was working for the Center for Urban Affairs, and I ended up being on that board, and that's how I met Mr. Co-op. And he was an absolutely caring, outstanding person, and really gave his best for the community and was truly committed to our students and the kids in the community. Then I went to work for the district, and Mr. Co-op was our district-wide athletic director, and Johnson was assistant athletic director. And so I had an opportunity to interact with Mr. Co-op on a different level. So while he may be home to Sexton, and Sexton is where he came from, he really contributed to the entire district when he was our district-wide athletic director. And so thank you, people from Sexton, for putting together a committee to bestow this honor on him, and I, too, look forward to being invited to the ceremony. Thank you.
Let me just say, we did Easton quite a bit, but in my senior year, we would have won the championship, state championship 3 years in a row. We got beat in the districts by Eastern High School, who we had beaten twice before during the regular season. So we said, well, we got this, we got to play Eastern. Who do we play next? Well, we lost to Eastern in my senior year after we beat Eastern twice in the regular year. So it's a lesson learned that you can't overlook anybody. So I still remember that to this day, being upset by Eastern High School. I won 3 championships in a row.
I'm so glad you remembered that. Just see you years later,
It's still stuck in my heart.
don't take anything for granted.
Yeah. anyone else wish to make any other comments? Thank you very much.